Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
NAIT students are back on campus. We asked them how they feel about it.
It's different, it's weird, like being online compared to being in person.
We look at how liquor stores are showing their support for Ukraine.
We've got a lot of Ukrainian products right now, so I mean, supporting the people back home or in Ukraine are the most important thing.
And a movie rental store who isn't letting the credits roll just yet.
Bills were kind of piling up and rent was piling up, and it just kind of started getting a little stifling.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. Students are back on campus after reading week with NAIT's new COVID-19 policies.
The majority of those returning were online at the beginning of the semester, and many are now questioning if this time around things will be different. Our Marco Belmez joins us live from the hallways of NAIT with more on that story.
Thanks, Corey. Classes were mostly online this semester, but this past Monday was returned for in-person learning. Now both staff and students need to readjust, which is causing a mix of reactions.
So writing is really a combination of science and art.
Classes like these will be the norm once again. While students are still expected to follow basic COVID-19 guidelines, they can now finally interact with others. Even staff members can agree.
So that's one thing that face-to-face does. It has its own challenges, but I think we're all glad to be back.
Some students, however, had to adapt and change now that they are in person, even if it means driving to school.
So I just feel more comfortable driving, and if it means I spend a couple extra dollars on gas, then I guess that's what I have to do.
Theory and lecture classes for all programs can now resume and go back to how they were last semester. A lot of students rely on on-campus resources that they themselves don't have access to at home. Some students do prefer online for the sake of convenience in regards to time and having more flexibility. Despite its benefits, some students like Presley are looking forward to what the semester will bring.
Being online compared to being in person, it's fun, it's interesting, it's nerve-wracking, like I get anxiety from it, but I'm really looking forward to how this year is going to pan out.
NAIT will closely observe the student body's safety and still need them to wear their masks. As of right now, the rest of the semester will continue on like this. Any new changes NAIT makes is going to be planned carefully and is going to coincide with the government's second phase of easing of the public health measures.
So Marco, what are the expected attendance numbers at NAIT, on campus?
The projected number is approximately 8,400 students and staff per week for this winter semester. Now, those are just the expected numbers. So what that means is, in regards to the approximation, is that these numbers were expected to happen, but since the Omicron variant has caused us to shift to online.
Marco, are students and staff still going to have to provide proof of vaccination?
No, you no longer need to upload proof of vaccination to the NAIT Alert app. The reasoning is because NAIT is a highly vaxxed community, and it's through the cooperation between staff and students wanting to protect each other. Now, although this is true, NAIT still encourages people to get vaccinated ASAP.
Thanks, Marco. That's Marco Belmez reporting live from NAIT campus.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
With the whole world shaken by conflict in Europe, people are being affected. NAIT is trying its best to provide resources to students. Jaden Bayrak has more.
But there are so many pictures, so many memories.
Angela is a first-year television student at NAIT. She reads the news daily to stay updated on the conflict in Ukraine.
I think it's very saddening and unfortunate. I mean, I feel like we just had the pandemic and no one really wants a war.
Her family moved to Canada before she was born, but she still has an aunt overseas in Poland and is doing her part to help refugees coming in from Ukraine, giving them what they need.
Basically, a lot of Polish people are picking up Ukrainian like children and the mothers, and they're bringing them into their homes in Poland to just take care of them and help them to get back on their feet.
Canada is trying its best to help out those who are struggling through this conflict, but what does NAIT offer for students also struggling through these tough times?
We really wanted to reach out to them to let them know that we are thinking about them and to let them know about what the services that are available to support them.
NAIT and NAITSA both offer a wide variety of mental health resources. So here at NAITSA we have peer support available throughout the week if you just need someone confidential to talk to.
Angela hopes that NAIT will continue to provide help to students and suggests that NAIT could organize ways for students to send support to Ukraine. Jaden Bayrak, NAIT NewsWatch.
Alberta has joined the rest of Canada in banning sales of Russian vodka and other spirits. The move is designed to put additional economic pressure on Russia. Sales of Russian products amount to roughly $1.2 million per year in Alberta. The Alberta Gaming, Liquor and Cannabis Division has stopped any distribution of Russian vodka to liquor stores in the province and encouraged local stores to stop selling any Russian products they already have. Premier Jason Kenney applauded the move in a press release, saying that Alberta stands in solidarity with the citizens of Ukraine, and we will support those fighting against tyranny any way we can.
It wasn't a hard decision at all. We actually pulled them off the shelves before the Alberta government told us to. Coming from Ukrainian descent, the easiest thing to do was just get rid of them. So we just basically took them off the shelf, stumped them out, and never thought of them again, and took them off our order sheets so they'll never be reordered.
Alberta's largest liquor store chains, Wine and Beyond, Liquor Depot, and Ace Liquor Discounter have each removed Russian products from their shelves.
Universities were finally able to get a glimpse at the new Alberta budget plan for 2022 after it was released last Thursday. After several years of cuts, universities are finally able to see some growth. The province's new Build Skills for Jobs strategy sees an increase in funds for multiple areas of education. These areas include energy, healthcare, finance and finance technology, as well as computer science, information technology, and data modeling. NAIT is one of those universities that is hoping for a share of the new funds that were added.
We're anticipating that we will definitely get a share of this money, and we'll be able to provide more seats to students to be able to lead them to meaningful careers.
This new budget also sees an increase of funds towards students. $15 million in new bursaries will go towards low-income students, an additional $12 million for existing scholarships, and $6 million to work-integrated learning placements.
The days of having a movie rental store on every block have been busted, but one store in Stony Plain is hoping to keep the tradition alive a little longer. For over 40 years, Movie World in Stony Plain has provided its community with a place to rent and buy the latest movies. Owner Joe French bought Movie World in 2020 because of his love of movies and the culture around physical media. Now, after a rough winter, they're turning to GoFundMe and asking for the community's help to keep the popcorn popping.
The biggest thing would definitely be the nostalgia of actually stepping through the doors of a movie store. And not just kind of mindlessly scrolling through screen after screen for an hour and not landing on anything to actually watch. Coming in here and picking out the physical copy, just coming in here as a family is a big part of it.
All of the money raised via the GoFundMe campaign will be put back into the store. Movie World has also recently started selling collectibles to help keep the movie buffs coming in.
Coming up after the break, we meet a Jasper Place High School student who bounced at the opportunity to play basketball with his team.
We see how he raised school spirit as soon as he stepped onto the court.
It's pretty good having the boys working hard.
My name's Marcus Taylor. Coming up in sports, the Elks are making a large change. And do the Edmonton Oil Kings beat the Medicine Hat Tigers? All that coming up.
I'm Danielle Bernard, and I'll be letting you guys know whether or not you'll be getting a break from doing this weekend. Stay tuned for the weather.
It's crazy that we're already in March. There's snow on the ground, and spring is around the corner.
It doesn't really feel like we're even that close to the spring right now. And I gotta say, with all the snow we've gotten over the last couple days, I am so tired of cleaning snow off my car. Hopefully, our Danielle Bernard is gonna be bringing us some good news on that front.
Thanks, guys. I agree with you, Corey. I had to dig like half a foot of snow off the top of my car this morning, and I'm sick of it. So I do have some good news on that front. We are going to see a bit of a break with that from that snow. It's not going to get too much warmer, but it's not going to be awful. So most of Alberta is going to have a pretty short but okay break this weekend. So we'll start down in Calgary. They'll have a chilly morning, of course, -12, but -1 and partly cloudy, partly sunny. It's not too bad. You'll see the sun coming through the clouds part of the day, so it won't be completely gloomy. We'll go take a look at Jasper. Jasper will be the warmest. I'm jealous of Jasper. If I had time, I'd go to Jasper this weekend. So if you can, Saturday, it'll be a high of +3, which will be really nice, but Sunday is even nicer. It'll be a high of +5 and sunny. So if you're going to Jasper or you live in Jasper, please get outside. I'm going to live vicariously through you this weekend. For McMurray, I am sorry. You will see some chilly mornings this weekend, and on Saturday you got a 40% chance of precipitation. That's not a 100% chance. You can still hold up some hope, but you might have to brush a bit of snow off your car in the morning. Now look at Edmonton. We're getting a little bit of a break. We still got some chilly mornings coming in. -17 isn't horrible, but isn't great. But -3, partly sunny, isn't too bad. I'm not complaining too much. At least we're not in 1888, where we had our record low of -39. I'm glad that was a long time ago, and I would like it to stay that way. We are still around our averages for the month of March, around that -11 in the morning, -2 during the day, a little bit colder, but not too bad. I am jealous of our temperatures in 1937, where it was +16, and I'm looking forward to the time when those types of temperatures will be throughout the week. And that's all I have for your weekend weather. Back to you guys.
NewsWatch weather sponsored by NR92 Campus Radio.
A grade 11 student living with Down syndrome from Jasper Place High School was finally able to live out his dream.
And it came with the support of the basketball team, coaches, and an emotional crowd of school supporters. Seen as a celebrity in the halls, Osmond Lowe, the manager of the senior men's team, was given the chance to play with the players. When asked about the experience, he was still happy about the opportunity and gave credit to his teammates.
It's pretty good having the boys and working hard. Cooper did an amazing job, and it was amazing.
You know, in the last couple of minutes, the game was out of reach for us, and so we had the opportunity. So we sent him up to the score table, and he checked into the game. And the second he went on the floor, like just the energy in the gym just kind of went to a whole nother level.
Osmond is adamant about playing basketball and hopes one day soon he will get another opportunity to show the team and the world what he can do. You know, you love hearing such a heartwarming story about sports and coming together and giving somebody a chance. It's amazing.
It truly is. I love how sports can bring people together like that. And I'd love to see that Jasper Place High School, where I went, is such a class act to this day. For the rest of sports, our Marcus Taylor is joining us in studio.
Thanks, guys. This week, the Oil Kings faced off against the Medicine Hat Tigers. They look to maintain their momentum as they come into this one on an 8-game win streak. On Wednesday night, the Edmonton Oil Kings defeated the Medicine Hat Tigers by a score of 5-2. With the victory, the Oil Kings extend their win streak to 9. The Oil Kings set a new franchise record for shots allowed, having only allowed 10 shots on goal. With playoffs only a few months away, maintaining this high level of energy until the end of the season is top priority.
For sure. I think even practice and workouts, I think the energy is super high and everyone's having a good time, but still working and pushing each other every day. But yeah, I would say the energy is definitely higher when you're winning for sure.
The Oil Kings are in first place in the Eastern Conference, boasting the best overall record of 39 wins and 11 losses. They'll have a chance to pick up their 40th win against the Calgary Hitmen tonight. The Edmonton Elks revealed the results of a secret project, a new helmet design. On Thursday, the Edmonton Elks unveiled their new helmet design that they will be wearing in the upcoming season. The design features a double E pattern similar to the ones worn by the team before 2019. The new design is meant to help bridge the gap between generations of the Elks community, and the change back to a familiar logo is one part of the Elks' plan to help rebuild community engagement.
And the theme is history, community, fans,
and celebrating what we have here. The partnerships with Golden Bears, the $99 ticket for the family pack, season pack for families, and the helmet. And you're going to see more and more of that.
The first look at the new helmets will be on June 3rd when the Elks take on the Calgary Stampeders.
Wow, you know, those helmets look great, but I do wish they had more antlers on them to go with the new name, because that would be really cool.
Yeah, the connection to the old logo is pretty nice to see, though.
Yeah.
Adam, are you thinking about attending an Oil Kings game anytime soon?
I won't be able to make the game tonight, but their next home game is March 16th, so I'll most likely be there to check it out.
Yeah, maybe we can go together.
For sure.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Marcus.
Coming up after the break, we blow off some steam and set our sights at a local gun range.
We'll watch our Try This reporter aiming to impress and see if she's on target.
It's safe and it's, anyone can do it.
Coming up on NAIT NewsWatch, we check out the Flying Canoe Volant and get an update on the rest of entertainment, so stick around.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
Welcome back to NAIT NewsWatch. With spring around the corner, there is lots of curiosity to try new things.
Sure is. Locked and loaded, we send our Andrea Sokolowski to Wild West Shooting Gallery, where she's jumping the gun in our new Try This segment.
Hi, I'm Andrea Sokolowski, and we're here at the gun range, and today we're going to learn how to shoot guns.
I got into shooting. I was about 7 years old. My dad taught me how. Ever since that, I just really enjoyed shooting. Rule number one, most important, when you are shooting, just make sure the barrel of the gun always pointed straight ahead towards your target at all times. A lot of people have a tendency when they shoot handguns to want to cross their thumb over like this. It's really important that you don't do this, okay? Because the slide does go back and forth when the gun fires. If you get your thumb up in there, it could get cut open. So go ahead, wrap 3 fingers around the handle just like that. Just make sure your finger stays off. Take your left hand, you're going to cover up your right with all 4 fingers. You're going to want to take the flat part of the round and push it down and in through the front, just like that. Take 6 rounds, load them all up, face first, just like that. And once you have the cylinder loaded, go ahead, close it up, and as soon as you close the cylinder, it is loaded and ready to shoot.
First, we started using the handgun, where the barrels shoot out through the bottom. Got a couple bullseyes on my first try. Next, we use the revolver, which is a different setup. NAIT NewsWatch, Andrea Sokolowski.
That was pretty crazy. I bet you she could shoot an avocado with that revolver.
50 yards away, easily. I'm going to have to give that a shot sometime.
From Flying Canoe Volant to Pride Week coming up.
Our Michael Yurchuk is here to provide us an entertainment update.
Oh, thanks guys. The Flying Canoe Volant is back again this year and loaded with more fun than we've seen before. From tasty treats to magical lights, this year's festival is sure to be étonnant.
And the more you stretch it and then compact it, the truer your attack.
After having over 60,000 visitors last year, the French-Canadian Festival returns to Edmonton once again. Filled with illuminated lights and everyone's favorite maple taffy, the Flying Canoe Volant is a celebration of French, Indigenous, and Métis culture and the beauty of a long winter's night. I was able to catch up with coordinator Alan Jacobson to talk more about the importance of the festival.
It really is enabling people to be able to express their cultures and to be able to acknowledge and celebrate other cultures as well.
Tonight and Saturday night will also feature the return of the Flying Canoe Volant races, better known as the Canadian Triathlon, where teams will ride down the Edmonton Ski Club in 16-foot canoes, move on to the bucksaw, and finish with axe throwing. You can find out more about the festival through their official website at flyingcanoevolant.ca. With Pride Week making its return next week, the 2S LGBTQIA+ community is ready to make their voices heard.
It makes me feel like obviously heard and like seen, and I think that's really important.
With restrictions easing across the province, Pride Week is sure to be as vibrant as it's ever been. With numerous events already scheduled and safe spaces already in place throughout the year, Pride groups and students can't help but feel appreciated. Pride at NAIT President Kira Krumka spoke on the importance of the celebration.
Having people who are like you and who you can connect with is very important, especially in communities like LGBTQ+ communities.
Other schools like MacEwan and King's University are collaborating with NAIT to make this Pride Week one to remember. From the Pride March to sword fighting to cooking, all scheduled events can be found on the NAIT website under the Dates and Events page.
You know, Mike, I never realized before now how much a canoe is just like a really big toboggan, and I really want to go down a hill in one now.
Yeah, I do too. I was thinking about taking my girlfriend there for a date tonight or tomorrow because I want to take her on a canoe ride. What are you thinking, Adam?
You know what? I think that would be a good idea. That'd be a fun ride.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thanks, Michael.
That's our show this week. We'll see you next week with a new broadcast focused on the news that matters most to students.
And remember to visit NAITNewsWatch.ca to keep up to date with news during the week. Have a great night, everyone, and stay safe out there.